Messed up. No, but
Morning, everyone. Join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, thank you for the beautiful day and thank you for the rain. Just pray for safety for all the county employees and just give the commission the knowledge to do the county's business. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Make a motion, we approve the claims in the amount of $802,234.43.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You have one add and abate. Let's see, what's the total on there? I'm not seeing the 9150 here.
That's correct.
Not
Yep, 90.
a rebate of $91.50 for change order number 2024-232. The amount of a refund of $91.50. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. About the
There's the one.
approval of the agenda.
Sorry.
I'd like to add 10 minutes to executive session for statute 754319B4 to discuss data relating to financial affairs or trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trusts, and individual proprietorships for 10 minutes.
I'd like to just change the fire and emergency management to executive session. According to the Kansas statute 754319,
15D.
15D regarding security.
How many minutes?
10.
With
That was
Randy.
per Randy's request.
Okay. Anything else?
We can take economic development off of the agenda.
Okay.
She sent us an update, so she doesn't need to speak to you.
Okay.
And then we need to add Tanglewood to old business. We have some discussion that will not require any action.
10 minutes to old business.
And then
I need 15 minutes non-elected personnel. Kansas statute 73 or 754319 regarding job descriptions.
How many minutes?
15.
15 for job descriptions? Just the commission and
Commission and HR.
HR. Okay. Okay, so we have 10 minutes executive session. My deal, and then 10 minutes with Randy's for security. And then we're changing, have 15 minutes executive session for job description with commissioners and HR, and then old business with Tanglewood with no decisions made for 10 minutes.
I also have a response from the area on AG on the Meals on Wheels deal if we want to add it after Tanglewood.
Area on Aging, okay. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
I'm good with.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as corrected.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Somebody want to read the sheriff's report?
I can. Sheriff's report for April 21st, 2025. Total prisoners of 51, 14 releases this past week. Prisoners in of 50, one farmed out for a competency evaluation. Total farmed in of 39, 911 calls of 66, jail contacts of 4,062, calls for service of 646, civil service papers served of 25, VIN inspections 6, new cases opened of 29, cases closed of 11, vehicle crashes 6, SRO activities of 71, bailiff contacts of 170 with 43 resulting in calls for service, and 2 livestock out.
AMR?
Good morning, Don Brooks with AMR for the monthly report, April 1st through 20th. Blue Mound had 2 calls and 1 transport. Centerville, 1 call, 0 transports. Lacine, 16 calls, 6 transports. Lane, 2 calls, 1 transport. Linn Valley, 10 calls, 5 transports. Mound City, 14 calls, 3 transports. Parker, 10 calls, 6 transports. Pleasanton, 20 call, 10 transports, for a total of 75 calls and 32 transports for April. Any questions for me?
Anybody have any?
Okay,
I don't.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Don. Yes, so we want to go into executive session with Randy now for 10 minutes with Randy. Executive session for security with the 3 commissioners and Randy. We'll return at 9:18.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 No, he didn't ask to be.
We should probably know to the department heads that we're not doing this.
No action taken. Let's see. Okay, go ahead, Randy.
Sent out this week's weekly report. We had 3 calls, brings our yearly total up to 242. I would like to ask permission to sign a letter of automatic aid agreement with Anderson County. They're getting ready to have it actually went down last Thursday. They're having to do maintenance on a water tower in the Greeley district. That puts them short on water if they would have a structure fire or something like that. We're pretty much through the grass fire season, so the concern would be for structure fires. We had a spare tender. We took it up to station 940, which is the Parker station. It'd be the closest station to Greeley area. But they did send a automatic aid agreement asking us to provide that tender if called upon for the next 8 weeks. That's how long this tower is supposed to be down. The fire coordinator and myself have worked really close together on fires in both counties. I have no problems with doing this. I just would like permission to go ahead and sign it to cover the next 8 weeks, saying that we do.
Have we did this before with other counties around, or?
Usually it's just a verbal. He went ahead and put it in writing. He's going to provide a couple of 800 band radios because they have switched to the 800 frequency. So they're going to provide an 800 band radio where the firefighters from Parker can grab it, where they can communicate with Parker. And then also offer, if the Parker station would like to put their notification system on their phone for the next 8 weeks, where they can do that, where they automatically know, hey, something's going on, to be ready. So like I said, he did send a agreement. I just asked him permission to sign that to cover the next
I
8
haven't
weeks.
seen it. I don't feel like I have a problem with you signing it, but is it something that we'd want legal to look at
I'll
first?
tell you what I'd like you to do is just Jacqueline's available till 10 something or so. She's getting on a plane. Could you call her and just run it past her?
Yeah.
And then I'm good with it. I mean,
Yeah, I think she'd want to see the document,
yeah.
read it, and give
Okay.
you the okay, and then I'm fine with that if you guys are.
Me too. Okay. I also met with the maintenance out at Tanglewood last week and took some pictures and some measurements and starting to get the estimate worked up on what it would take to modify that building to be able to put fire trucks in. So just kind of give you an update on that process and see where we're standing. They're still saying possibly fall would be the earliest we could move in, but just getting the numbers around where we can bring it back to the commission and say, hey, this is what we're looking at price wise. So Okay. that is all I have unless you have questions.
I don't know. I mean, if you can get a hold of her and have her look at that, you can bring it back to us.
Okay. No problem. Thank you, Randy. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Jesse?
Jesse Walton, Public Works Department. Sorry to get nothing out to you. I was homesick Friday, but there's a few things I need to go over. The road departments were all busy out working on roads. We did get the parts ordered for the track loader. They should all be in. They did call Craig this morning, and he's going to go up and pick up all those parts, make sure everything did come in for the track loader for the landfill so we can get it worked on. Get it back up in service. The South Shop here replaced several culverts this last week. Been out with the boom mower, mowing out at Kreitzer Lake. We did have a call to get some mowing done out there, so we had some guys out there mowing, getting that all cleaned up. We did get with Johnny Taylor to do some spraying out there, so we can keep that preventative maintenance on the grass growing around the walkout piers on there. Craig's been working on dump trucks and our skid steer, getting those regular services done. We did get some fenders ordered for their transport truck down here. We should have those hopefully this week so we can get those on the truck. Got some tarps ordered for some of the dump trucks down here to get those replaced. They were not looking so good. Monday, we started our new employee over in Pleasanton. Been training him on the motor grader. We've had him out following the other one to learn how to roll rock and fix potholes, and he's coming along real well. He's learning quick on that, so that's been good. Jack's been working on the mow tractor over there, getting it ready for the mowing season coming up. And Todd's been out working on several different projects throughout his area, replacing culverts. He's had quite a few culverts that he's replaced this last week. Due to the rain that we've had this week, we had one bridge abutment that's starting to wash out in the north end of the county. The guys are up, going to work on that today, get that patched back up. It's up on Farland Road, just north of 2400. So hopefully they'll have that patched up today so we can get it opened back up and going through there. Did receive a few texts over the weekend about some culverts that were getting washed, being undermined by the water going through, and we did get those taken care of. On the planning and zoning end, I have a dump assistance here. This is in Blue Mound. And they're asking for 100% of the dump fees to be waived on this.
Jesse, where are we at on the landfill
In which aspect of it?
from our, as far as granting this dump assistance? Are we at capacity? Are we
So,
nearing capacity? Is this something that we can hold, or is this going to create us more of an issue?
so they're supposed to come out this week and do a survey on the landfill to see where we're at. They did send me some drawings that I received over the weekend that I pulled up this morning. I think more than anything, we need to have their surveyor out there and see where the benchmarks are, where the cells begin and end,
Right.
and where we're at capacity wise. When I was out there last week with Al looking at it, there's no definitive lines of where one cell ends and one cell begins. So that's one thing that I need to know is where the definitive lines are, how much capacity we've got left in there. Because we're being told that we've got, a year left in to fill this, but if you go out there and look at it, you think, oh, we got a year left, but that's not the case where cell 6 ends at a certain area, and then that other cell that's there that's open that you would believe we could use to fill is actually used for something else. So that's something that they're going to come out this week. I'm going to get a hold of, I believe it's Terracon doing that.
Right.
I'm going to get a hold of them today and visit with Tony and figure out exactly what's going on out there so we can head this up and figure out what's going on, see how much room we have left and how much time we got going.
I'm not personally comfortable with approving it today. I'd like to hold off until this week.
I'd like to table it for 2 weeks myself,
Yeah.
and just see.
I think
make
that's
sure we're
fine.
right. Let's table it for 2 weeks.
Table it for 2 weeks and
Yep.
put it back
Bring
on.
And
it
that's
back up
fine.
then.
You bet.
Okay.
So hopefully this week we'll have some answers on the landfill end. Get that figured out.
You want Danielle to keep this, or would you?
I'll
like-
just keep it in my file. I'll grab it and put it in my
Okay, thank you.
file. I do have a road bore permit from Page Enterprises. This is over on Reed Road, 3726 Reed Road. They're going to do a 1-inch poly line on a bore under there. We can get that approved.
What is the permit number?
BP 2025-01.
You've signed off on it. Everything looks good.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we approve burial permit 2025-01 for 3726 Reed Road for a water crossing, water bore.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 The next thing I have is fuel bids. I received one fuel bid. They were due Friday. So I only have one that came in if you guys want to open that one.
Yep.
This is a bid from MFA Oil Company. Taxes are included. Dyed diesel. This is a contract for gallons. 15,000 gallons, 2.7321. Right. Clear diesel, 55,000 gallons, 2.7292. Unleaded, 3,500, 2.6207. You mean to break down the? I don't need to break down the site.
They'll verify it.
Yeah, he just has to verify it.
About 30 cents a gallon cheaper than last year.
You verify that and then bring it back to us next week.
Sure will. The next thing I've got is the oil bids that we received for the paving season. We would like to go with Coastal Energy Corporation for their oil bid. They're going to be cheaper than the other ones. Todd, I had Todd go through and work this up with how much oil we're going to need for chip and seal, and if we were going to do our own cold patch, to make our own cold patch on that. And this is what Todd came up with on the oil bids.
Good morning, Commissioners. Todd Moeller, Asphalt Division.
Todd?
The three companies that we sent bids out to, that we try to do business with, were Coastal, Vance, and Wright Asphalt. They sent back their bids, and Coastal was running at $2.24 a gallon, and Vance went to $2.31, and then Wright was $2.33, and he has a secondary oil that he was trying to see if we wanted to use, and it's $2.36 a gallon. If we run the 22 miles that we normally do, we're going to run about 160,000 gallons of CRS2P, which a 7 cents difference over that kind of expansion is quite a bit of savings. About 11,000 between Coastal and Vance. With the rock that we were quoted from Mountain City, which they're going to start crushing here very soon, it's going to be $3,114 per mile just in cost of rock. And then between the oil that it takes for a mile, well, actually it's 1.1 to 1.2 miles, and that varies because road width and things of that nature. So it's not always a consistent, but we get anywhere from 1.1 to 1.2 miles done with a tanker of oil. It will be $22,743.98 per mile with Vance Brothers. Or sorry, Coastal, not Vance. Sorry, Coastal. No, I was right with Vance Brothers. I'm terribly sorry. I misspoke. It was Vance Brothers. It was $22,743. Coastal is $22,323.98. So per mile, we're going to be having a $400 difference. And depending on the number of miles that we have permitted this year, the savings will add up like that. Like I said, it'll add up to about 11,000 or so.
This is just oil and rock, or is this labor? Or...
The 22, that's everything. That's rock. That'll be oil, rock, labor, fuel, equipment, everything.
Okay.
And the more miles we can do in a day, which is something we're going to really try this year, we're going to try to get 3 miles done a day. Our cost per mile actually drops if everything's running good, because this is based on 2 miles or 2 tankers a day, getting 2.2 to 2.4 miles done a day. If we can get 3.3 to 3.6, our cost actually drops to almost 21,000 a mile.
Do you guys ever think about going like a 10-hour day when you're doing this?
I would love to. The problem I have is trying to get the rock quarries to open up at an early enough time and having them stay late. It's not the 10-hour days that's the problem. We can actually fit 3 tankers, and we can probably do more if we wanted to stay for a 10-hour day.
Can we talk to the quarry and see if
I can talk to Kurt.
for
and see
2
if-
weeks, whatever? I mean,
Yeah, I can talk to Kurt and see what he says, and see if, being summer hours, maybe he's going to open earlier and stay later. I will talk to them and get in touch with them and see how they feel. And if they say, yeah, I'd love to switch over to a 10-hour day and try to get this knocked out as fast as
you
possible.
guys good with that?
I think that's a great idea.
I love it. So if you guys are good with it, I'm good with it. So, but I will talk to them and find out what they say. And if they are go, I will let Jesse know, and he can come back and talk to you guys about that. And
I think it'd be good for us and you guys too. I mean,
Oh.
be able to get it done. You're already strung out, ready to go.
oh yeah, that sounds great. So yeah, if you guys are good with that, I'll talk to him and find out. And I don't see why it would be an issue. I really don't, but I will find out for sure and get a more concrete answer on it.
So on the bid that we're going to approve, it's Coastal Energy Corp. at $2.24 a gallon, 160,000 gallons.
That's what I have projected for it. I don't know exactly how many miles we're going to be doing this year. I haven't gotten those numbers yet to figure out what my budget is for that.
So you don't want us to state the number of gallons, you just want us to state we're accepting the bid at the price.
Yes. Because if we can somehow get more, I would rather be able to do more. If we can't, then I don't want to guarantee that we're going to be locked in at a certain amount. So
Agreed?
Is there a certain amount we do have to take in this bid, or is it just? Okay.
no,
Okay.
no, I gave them an estimate of what we're going to try to get accomplished, and it's just based on an estimated number.
Okay.
So
I move that we accept the bid from Coastal Energy Corp. in the amount of $2.24 a gallon for our chip and seal oil.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 thank you, commissioners.
Thank
you.
you.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
Todd.
There, any questions you have for me?
You doing okay?
I'm here.
I've already talked to Jesse about this, but Farlandville Schoolhouse called me, that I guess the Grange owns that. It's in your district that they called me, but that was fine. I
Sorry.
talked to the guy. He has a tree. I guess we use the Farlandville School for the voting. We vote there is what he told me,
The polling location. Yeah.
the polling location. He's asking for assistance taking the tree down that's in their yard.
I tried reaching out to him this morning and there was no answer, but
I don't know what you guys think about it, but he didn't ask for us to do it. All he asked for assistance is what he said. So, but I don't know what it entails. I didn't look at anything.
We can figure it out and fill out an assistance agreement
Right.
and
I
bring it through.
told Jesse, and Jesse's gonna get in touch with him.
Just start with the assistance form. He needs to fill it out and then submit it to Joyce.
Mhm.
We'll just
Yeah,
go
we
the
can
same
bring it to you.
process
yeah,
and then bring it to
him,
us and
see
then
where we're
we'll
at.
vote on it.
Like it.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good
Thanks,
day.
Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse.
You know, go to an executive session, the job description,
I'm fine with that.
okay,
Good, sir.
and make a motion to go.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we go into 15 minutes. Non-elected personnel, 75-43-19 regarding job descriptions with all three commissioners and Danielle
For 15
for
minutes.
15 minutes.
So we'll return at the 50,
253.
52 or 53, 9:53. Okay, I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Yeah. No act from executive session.
Commissioners, can I have you please sign the burial permit that you approved for Jesse?
Motion. Make a motion to go into executive session for 10 minutes for the statute 75-4319 to discuss data relating to financial affairs, trade secrets, corporations, partnership, trusts, and individual proprietorships with the three commissioners.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 We'll return to 10:04.
Thank you. 10:04.
Was no action. We'll open up public comment. Citizen desiring to speak on an item not on the agenda may do so at this time. Discussion is limited to 5 minutes and the commission will not take action at this time. Items introduced under public comment may become agenda items for a later date or time. Whoever comes, state your name and
Can we get you a,
I'm sorry, ma'am, you need to speak at the podium.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'll speak loud, but I cannot stand in the podium unless you want to see me fall to the ground. Is that what will
we
happen?
can move you to the podium and she can get you the mic, please.
If you want to do that, that's fine.
Closer to here.
Okay. But I have leg turners and
We don't.
this is as good as it gets. Okay, Rojean McPherson, and I live at 12921 Fawcett Road in Centerville. I have four things I'd like to talk about if I get to them. If not, that's okay too. And I made a commitment years ago and I haven't followed up on this commitment. But whenever I would talk to the commissioners, I would try and say something positive about the county. Now, that's been a stretch in the last few years, but I'm trying. We have beautiful creatures, beautiful grass in Linn County, and I so enjoyed it this morning when I was coming in where there was the little Angus calves were running around through the grass, and it was just beautiful. And I saw a hen turkey, which I thought was great. And then just around the corner over here, there was a billy goat sitting on top of a building, looking down at, I think they're called ewes when they're goats. I know sheep are, so I assume goats are too, ewes. But yeah, looking down over that. And all of that had great big horns. All of that is why so many of us live in Linn County, because we enjoy what God has created. Primarily what I'm here for today, besides one point complaining, is the striping of the Wesley Chapel Road and Road 1077. I heard through the grapevine that that was going to happen this spring. It's not close to the 1st of May, and I haven't heard anything about it, so I need your update on what's going to happen. And if you need reasons, again, I'll be glad to go through that. This morning, because the bridge out, the Big Sugar Bridge out near where I live was out, so I went around to the bend over to the clinic, got onto, let's see, that would be Wesley Chapel Road there. And I'm going to start referring to these by the church names because we need all the religion in this meeting we can get. So that's Wesley Chapel is what I'm concerned about, 1077. We know that Wall Street Road is already striped and okay. But anyhow, coming around that way, there's a lot of curves in the road. And thank goodness I don't have to come around that area at night. But anybody who does, it's got to be a safety issue without any striping. And I can't see any reason why that particular road can't be striped. Whether it's the yellow lines down the center, whether it includes the white lines on the outside. But I do come home some on 1077. That's a well-traveled road, by the way, if you don't know it. And it's a danger. And I'll probably keep coming back until you stripe it. So you can decide whether you want to see me again, or you can decide to do something about it or whatever. So that's my main concern. The second one, and and I rarely disagree with Jason on anything, but I'm going to disagree with you on one thing this morning. I printed off what you shared with the group last week. And one of the first thing you started out with was, first, I want to say that this has nothing to do with the decision to fire Sean West. You had the 2 votes. I disagree with that strongly because there was one of the 3 of you, and we know that it's Jim, I'm not kidding anybody, that there's grievances filed, that Sean West filed at least 2 grievances against Jim. Now, whether that's legal or not for you to do it, I don't know. And I didn't have time to check with the state attorney's office to find out. But I do know, looking at the as I printed this out too, the Kansas County Commissioners Association Code of Ethics, which I think is that right up there. Is that right?
Is that.
Okay. Looking at one of the points, a county commissioner should perform the duties of public office with fairness and impartiality so as to enhance public confidence in county government. Then you go down to about point 4. A commissioner should abstain from voting, even if not required by law, if his or her impartiality might be reasonably questioned. I'm reasonably questioned whether the two of you could have done that, considering the fact that Sean had filed 2 grievances. You can do whatever you want to with it, because I doubt that Sean would come back. But it's just an example, again, of how people are treated in this county, and I'm tired of it. I don't know if you're going to do any presentation this morning for part of the public or not, but I absolutely agree with this. We have had enough of it. And if he isn't going to speak to you, then I may just come every week and harass you, because usually I can come up with something. And I'm not really that kind of person. But I do. Did I ever tell you that my dad was a county commissioner back in Nebraska? He died when he was 56, so he had been reelected several times, but he didn't get to see it to full. My dad, when he died, the funeral or the church was full because people respected him. And this isn't about my dad. I'm just using him as an example. The people respected him.
Your 5 minutes is up, man.
Okay, you got the idea, so I'm just fine with
Thank
that.
you.
Because I could have gone on and on and on, and you know that.
Thank you.
You are more than welcome.
Anybody else?
Yep. Don't start talking.
I was just going to do it for you. And I'll even get the chair back in place.
Oh, I don't need the chair. Thank you.
Well. I still need to move that.
Morning, guys.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing the best I can, you know.
Can you state your name for us?
Kevin Amer, former employee. As you guys know, I've given half my body for this job and caught a disease. I just want you to know that you've gotten rid of any kind of a wall for the employees that they felt they had some sort of a safety deal. And I understand. I'm not diving into politics, and cousin, I'm not beating you down today, okay? I just want you to know your employees probably need an uplifting right now. It used to be that we had picnics every year. It used to be. Sometimes we'd have 2 for appreciation. I've been here a long time. You know that, longer than you guys. I've been through several commissioners here on this job. And I have faith in all of you. And one of you is my cousin. And it means a lot, the things that don't happen anymore that used to happen. If an employee's in the hospital, you don't get a phone call, you don't get a card, you don't get flowers, you don't get nothing. Birthdays, nothing. Used to get cards, people used to bring balloons. You need to reconnect with your employees, that's all I'm trying to say. There is no wall now between employee and you guys. So we have a policy on bullying. Several of us years ago had to take these classes, go through harassment, bully training, probably need to do that again, for darn sure, because then when it happened, we were supposed to report as an employee every time somebody bullied you, or you would lose your job. Sure, some of us don't know that because we just don't keep up on it. Probably need to redo all that, but that was through our insurance company. Probably get them back in here to run that through again. I'm just trying to say, just open up your heart to your employees a little bit more. And I know some of you do, and you try. Try a little harder, all of you. All right, that's all I had to say.
Those are some good ideas.
Thank
Thank
you.
We'll take them all into
Uh,
consideration.
I'll be back. I do want the bullying to stop, and I'm not pointing fingers at nobody. It just, your employees feel so unsafe right now.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Jennifer, are you here for public comment?
No, I posted the agenda after you came and I wasn't able to change it after it was posted and I totally forgot to update them before we approved it. So if you want to speak, public comment would be the time. I apologize. That was definitely me.
Can you give me 2 seconds? I need them. Now my phone, and then we're ready. I was here early. I was supposed to. Good morning, Commissioners. Jennifer Lee Charlo with People's Telecommunications. I'm here with questions, I guess. I came in on 3/17 and spoke to Planning and Zoning and got with them on a tower that we're needing to erect in Linn County up by Lacine. And Planning and Zoning came to my office and instructed me at that point that I did not need a CUP, so a conditional use permit. So with what I was erecting, with the measurements that it was beneath that. I didn't need to do that. Then that was on 3/17. We planned, ordered, did all the equipment. I verified before I sent in the last purchase order request. On 4/10, I emailed the Planning and Zoning, again, received an email that said, I followed up, you do not need a CUP because of the height of what you're putting in the tower. Okay, so then we met with Tanglewood on erecting this tower, and we had a few people in that community that had concerns about the tower. So then they called the county, and then I got feedback, well, hold off, we're not sure if you need a CUP or not. Well, I feel like I did my due diligence. I verified with the county twice. I was instructed that I did not need one. And now there's question. I haven't met with Jesse because he's been out. Jesse and I have talked about it. And I know that he found some information out, but this all came about prior to Jesse. And then now he's trying to dig up information to find out. And I just feel like I've already made the purchase. I have the equipment. And if I have to do a CUP, that adds a whole nother realm to this that could take more time. And I'm just trying to find an answer. Can I proceed? Can I not proceed? As a commission, what can you do for me? I mean, does anything that these prior engagements that I made with the county have any bearing of me proceeding on, or do I have to possibly delay this project even further to find out?
Well, I would think we probably ought to run it past our legal. Myself, Jennifer.
Okay.
That would be my answer, to take it to our council.
Okay. I'm sure that you can see my frustration
Yep.
when you do a project and you go through all the steps that you feel like that you're supposed to, and you get those answers, and then you've spent thousands of dollars, and then it's like, well, and it's like, I can't do business like that, and I don't feel like that's fair but anyway, I understand. Would it do me any good to go speak to council myself? Is she here?
She'll be gone the next few weeks.
Okay.
I can get you her email.
I was gonna say, if you can get her information, and we can put her in touch with Jacqueline.
I'll step over and see if I can catch Jesse too, and see if he found anything out.
On the 3/17 and the 4/10, did you receive emails from Planning and Zoning? Or was
So
it-
I emailed Planning and Zoning on 3/17, and then he responded back, can you send me your email, or can you send me your address, and I'm going to send you a packet. I sent the information back to him. He then responded that he said, I see that you're the GM CEO. I'm just going to come visit you directly. So he came to my office. We sat in the boardroom. We had a lengthy conversation. And that's when he said, you don't need the CUP. Then I have an email on 410 clarifying, no, you do not need a CUP.
So I'm okay with moving forward with you reaching out to Jacqueline and then getting with Jesse, and then we'll circle back with you Monday. Is that okay?
Okay.
Phone call, or you want to come in?
I can come back down. That's fine.
Whatever.
Whichever. Yeah. I'll go visit with Jesse now and see.
I'm hoping
Good with
we'll
that.
get it settled during the week.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Anybody else in public comment? We'll close public comment. We'll go to 10 minutes. 10 minutes of discussion with Tanglewood.
Okay. So I sat down and I had a meeting with the president of the board and another resident from Tanglewood. They are wanting a motion that covers the understanding of the roads being public, motion, resolution, something of that nature. They're also wanting to talk with us about possible partnership things that could be done to help both entities out. So utilizing our buying power on like culverts. So when we put in our culvert orders, if we could reach out to the lake communities and possibly do that, not having us pay for the culverts, but just them submitting with us so that it all goes out to bid at the same time. It's delivered to Linn County, and we're able to do things of that nature. Sign orders, salt orders. They also were interested in the possibility of rock hauling, set number of loads to be delivered to set locations within, like, say, Tanglewood. We could do that as we're hauling from the Cadmus Quarry, and as they're going back to Lacine with the trucks, at the end of the day, we could dump a load along those lines to help out and help our taxpayers in that area. The other thing that they would like for us to consider is to set some criteria to plow the main roads within the lake development. And so what they kind of threw out was for snows over 6 inches in depth. So if we have a major snow event and they know that we would be doing this on our time schedule and as it allows and things that way, but we're going past these places. And if we were able to just come through and do a set roads in those instances, that would sure help out. Another thing, they would wondering if we would be willing to notify them if we have equipment to sell. They are trying, these lake communities are trying to bring and fix up their stuff and do things that way. And it would sure be beneficial if they could source things locally and be able to take care of themselves more efficiently from themselves. They also asked about a neighborhood watch, whether that required county approval, planning and zoning code enforcement, and dumpsters, 2 trash days, a spring and a fall. Right now, we're only doing 1 trash day with the hauling in an extra dumpster. They're saying it would be very beneficial, so I don't know if that's something that we would consider or not. And they would like to see a document drafted in regards to these issues so that we and them can approve and determine what course of action we're taking going forward.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say yes or no at this time.
I'm not asking you
need
to.
Definitely look into each request and see how that's, let's just take the culverts, for example. How can we throw in a bid on a culvert for someone else, I think that gets really confusing on how they're going to pay for it, but it still ran under a Linn County bid. And then separating that out, like, I just don't see how that would work for us, but I think it's a longer discussion than at this table, probably more of a workshop with Tanglewood. And
Well, it's just not Tanglewood. We've got a lot of other.
yeah, I mean, the second we open up this with Tanglewood, it's going to go to every other lake community, and I just don't know if that's something we can do. Some of them seem doable, like the signs, for example. That seems like we already approved to install signs, right? Just we did resolutions a few months ago.
That was signs on our road. They're talking about piggybacking with us when we place a sign order for stop signs, things of that nature. Can they add on to our order?
What happens, this question I'd have is whether the taxes on it, are they taxable entity or there'd be different things there as far as government entities aren't taxed. So what we get into there in the paper trail.
What was the first line that you mentioned that they wanted to change on the public roads?
Just always the understanding of private roads, and they are asking for a motion that covers that.
That they are private?
That they are private roads. A motion, a resolution, something of that nature, stating that they continue to be private roads.
I've not seen anything yet of you guys that's changed anything as far as the way they are, as far as whether they're.
Right.
I mean, I haven't been private forever, so I guess that's the way it stands with me right now. They're private.
Okay.
I think we need to get with legal on the resolution, have a draft, and we need to present the draft to Tanglewood. I'm okay with moving forward with the resolution on public roads.
Okay.
Everything else I feel like could be tabled for a workshop to figure out exactly what we can legally help them with. When it comes into the bids and the culverts and the signs and all that.
Okay.
There might be a few that are simple, like the trash. That might be something that
It's easy enough to do, yeah.
But type out everything that you just read off and go over that with Jacqueline and figure out the easy ones and.
Can do. Yep. Kim?
Good morning, Jim Hendershot. I live in Tanglewood, and I was the resident that Commissioner Hightower referred to was at this meeting. It would be our desire that if there is a resolution that clarifies the private-public question, which to me right now there is no question. The judges rule they're public. The plats say they're public, regardless of what the understanding has been through the years. Therefore, we've opened our gates. They're public roads right now. It would be our desire that in this resolution, if there was one that establishes that the roads are private, that the issues that Commissioner Hightower has brought up, that we've brought up to him, that are agreed upon, be in that resolution, so that there's no question going forward as to what was agreed upon, what wasn't. We're not, in that way, we're not having the roads declared as private and then someday getting back to these other issues. We all know that sometimes someday doesn't come, or it just drags out for an unreasonable amount of time. I don't feel that anything that Commissioner Hightower presented is of great expense or burdensome to the county in any way, be it for our lake or for any of the lakes. It's an issue where our residents, every lake resident in every community, lake community in Linn County, have paid our taxes, in our case for 55 years, and have got little in return for those taxes. I know that's a turnoff to hear that, but it is the truth. I just don't see that any of these issues are that expensive or that burdensome. For example, the snow issue. Our crews do the best they can to clear our roads. All we're asking for is a defined set of main roads within the loop, if you will, of Tanglewood. One pass through there in a 6-inch snow event. We get very few 6-inch snow events. I've been in Tanglewood 7 years. I can remember one, and that was this past winter where we got 6 inches of snow. It becomes a safety issue for residents to get in and out of our community, and for ambulances, fire, et cetera, to get in. So there are multiple levels of that, but I believe it's critical that if there is a resolution that establishes these roads as private, that these conditions that we can all agree upon be on that. We're allowed to take that document then to our attorney for review, and then come back with any comment from there. I would entertain any questions you might have from Tanglewood.
I just don't think that that's going to work, but I would just have to refer back to our legal. I don't think that
I understand.
all these stipulations when you're trying to establish if you have public or private roads, and you're going to throw a whole umbrella over all these other things you want. I just don't see that being the right way to go, but it's going to have to go through legal.
Okay?
You guys do pay sales tax as Tanglewood,
Yes,
so that would be an issue that we'd have to.
I understand.
I know,
And
I'm just wanting
Right.
clarity of that situation.
right, I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
But we'll take all of everything you're asking for, all of that into consideration.
And we very much appreciate the opportunity to partner like this with you guys. It's very encouraging for us, and we hope that comes to fruition. So the only other thing I would add that Commissioner Hightower did not include on that, and it's not your decision, is we're going to go, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied here. We will be meeting with the sheriff to try to get an increased presence down there. We would appreciate, if possible, your support to the sheriff's office. I understand that there's no direct authority or connection there, but we'll be going to him and asking, just particularly on weekends and holidays, just show up, drive through, wave, talk to people, whatever, show a presence, makes a big impact on those communities. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
I have one thing we can say. Very quickly.
Come up, please.
Hi, my name's Don Vendetti, and I live in Tanglewood. The only thing that I'd add is hopefully a decision can be made quickly, because since the decision was made that they are public roads, we have not maintained our roads at all. We were told not to. And the roads are getting really bad. And after the rain, after the last couple days, they're really bad. And we're anxious to get cracking on repairing the roads, but we can't touch them. So the longer the delay, you're moving your eyes like,
I just don't know who told you that you couldn't touch them.
we were at the,
Well, we have never.
I thought we got something actually from the judge that said,
No, that was a civil. It was. Yeah, I don't know. You can keep going, but
okay, I may be wrong, but it's my understanding is we were informed that we cannot touch our roads until a decision is made if they're public or private. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Is that all?
So like,
We'll move on to the area on aging.
okay. So we had the issue with March is the National Meals on Wheels Month, and they have a campaign called March for Meals, and that's what was sent out to the different things. And what is typically happening in those issues we have council members or commissioners volunteered to deliver meals during those months. The letter sent out asking for donations was from a new staff member, and it has been taken care of and won't happen again. She just took it upon herself to ask for donations from the city governments and things of that nature. She thought it was a fundraising campaign, not just a campaign to get our local political leaders to be delivering meals. So that's where we stand at from that standpoint. Just a couple of numbers that were passed along. From October of 23 to September of 24, there were 18,019 meals total. More than half of those home delivered, the rest of them being congregate meals. And the reason the dates are this way is that's our financial year for the Area on Aging. And then from October 24th to the end of March, the total was 8,735, 4,037 of those congregate and 4,698 home delivered. So that being said, there is uncertainty regarding it. All the ALC staff has been let go. That affects the Older Americans Act. Right now, there is nobody overseeing those funds and things that way. That's where a lot of the funding for the Area on Aging comes from the federal government. So just letting you know that there is instability within the program due to those things happening in Washington. So they are expecting financial hits and the possibility that more cuts will have to be made.
Here in that area on aging in this area.
Correct. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention as well.
Commissioners, along the lines of Area on Aging, we did already receive their budget request for the 2026 year. They're asking for $45,000, which is the same as last year. That includes $13,500 to be used as a match for federal and state to expand levels of services and programs provided by the meals, the Area Agency on Aging, sorry. And that also includes $31,500 to be included as a federal match for federal and state dollars to continue to serve congregate and home delivered meals to Linn County.
And does the utilities and stuff in the buildings that we're in, that's not in that budget?
It is not in that
That is
budget
correct.
because we own those buildings.
Mhm.
And then I have on the last page there, I have the historical budgeting of what we've done for this agency. The utilities and the property tax for the buildings that they operate out of comes out of our elderly care fund, which is part of our general fund.
How many budgets have you already received? First
Budget requests?
Yeah.
I have one more.
Oh, I don't need to see it. I was just wondering when we start getting these in, when do we need to set a timeline, or can you guys give me the timeline that you've used for the budgets?
We normally start around the 1st of June, isn't it?
I was gonna say in June, I'll create a folder
Well,
for
you gotta be
budget
done by
requests such as this.
September, October, isn't it?
So right now we're averaging 1456 per month between congregate and home delivered meals for this year. Last year, it would have been 1,500 per month. So we are down about 50-ish on that as far as the number of people.
Like on the deal that we stopped Parker, does that count those into if they buy the?
So they are counted if they're going to a congregate site. So if they are getting the vouchers,
That's not.
or it's in here in the congregate site stuff
Okay, for us. Okay.
Are your numbers including all of the counties that the Area of Aging?
No, that is Linn
Just Linn
County.
Okay.
That is Linn County, not the entire, that is just Linn County, what we delivered, what was served on those things. So,
I know we had a lot of questions. I feel like Ms. Paletta was looking into that too. So I'd like to definitely get back with her on it. when she gets
Okay.
back. I don't know our other options. I don't. We've considered any, so this is just what it is.
What is that for
Always
your
used.
monthly meal we're paying?
$2.50 a meal
That's what it's costing us.
is what we're paying from that standpoint. Now, once again, that doesn't include what we're paying on utilities and things for the sites, site upkeep, things of that nature, but on a just a strictly per meal basis,
All the salaries coming out of the area on aging.
correct, for the site workers and everything along those
Drivers.
lines. Yes, vans. So, and just for reference, Ally,
I just want to see if it was broke down on the back. Thank you. Go ahead, Jason.
so one time Sheriff Friend had, when he was still our sheriff, he had said something to the effect that, they would be spending at least $6 a meal if they were to produce them through the sheriff's kitchen at the deal. Now, we've seen costs go up on food and things of that nature since that time. Food, trays, everything that way. When we're working on budgetary things, I want to say we're $10 to $12 on producing a meal at this current time total. So the rest of that, outside of that $2.50 that we're paying, is being made up through that Older Americans Act and things of that nature. The trends with them going away from congregate and to more home delivered meals, that's going to continue going forward.
I feel like I have more questions, but let's wait for Jacqueline.
Fine.
Guess I skipped this to the planning and zoning committees.
I'm still working on that, guys, so I don't have any appointments to make this week.
Yeah. Danielle, do you have anything else?
I do not.
Anybody else have anything?
I do not.
I don't.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'll sign these here too.